Hello, my name is Adrian Richards. I'm a consultant plastic and cosmetic surgeon and I'm the surgical director of Aurora clinics. And today I'm going to be talking as part of our series on scarring about abnormal scars. Okay, so a normal scar in a normal person heals really depending, as I've talked about before, on the location of the scar, thickness of the skin, the tension on the scar. Okay? So if the scar is constantly being pulled apart, it's a very tense area of the body, like on the chest, there's a lot of tension on the scar, you're more likely to get a raised scar. But our aim is to make a fine, thin scar which is pale. Okay? So plastic surgeons spend a lot of their time talking about this sort of thing and orientating the scar in the right direction, hiding it in natural lines, all those sort of things we can do, stitching up with deep stitches which take all the tension off the skin. So the skin, as I mentioned before, the skin stitches shouldn't have any tension on them. So there's lots of things we can do, okay? But scarring is not predictable and it's very individual. So as a general guide, if you've scarred badly in other areas of the body, if you've developed lumpy scars, you are likely to again. So have a little look, okay? Have you injured anywhere else? Have you had any other operations? Have they gone lumpy? Have they been raised? Are they still red? Do they itch? Okay? These are all things you need to look at. If you've got any of those things, you're more likely again to get them again. Okay? And it also runs in families. If you've got a family history, anyone in the family's got bad scarring, you possibly are likely to as well. And you need to take that into account before going on having any sort of surgery. Okay, so scarring in an ideal case should go through the phases. Initially heal very well, then go through a pink phase, red phase, purpley phase, eventually go into a sort of silvery whitey line. Okay, now what can go wrong? There's basically two types of abnormal scarring. One is hypertrophic scarring, one is keloid scarring, and there's a lot of confusion between the two. So hypertrophic scarring tends to occur in younger individuals with more florid scarring reaction. It tends to occur if there's been some problem with wound healing. So if the wound hasn't healed properly, it's got infected, it's come apart a little bit, if there's been delayed healing for whatever reason, you're more likely to get hypertrophic scarring. Okay? And hypertrophic scarring is characterised by a red, lumpy scar at the site of the original scarring. And the crucial thing is, it doesn't extend outside where the original scarring was. Okay? So hypertrophic scarring, younger person, within the old scar, okay, often with a history of not healing quite right. And the important thing about hypertrophic scarring is it tends to improve. So it doesn't get worse, it reaches a stage, it then improves, and it can be treated with a variety of injection and other techniques, so it will improve. Keloid scarring is quite different. Keloid scarring is abnormal scarring, which often starts in very, very small stimulus. So it can be ear piercing, can be ingrown hair, anything that causes some stimulus to the skin. And the crucial thing about keloid is they grow outside the area of the original sort of inflammation. So it could be a little hair or spot or anything can cause it, and then the keloid continues to grow. It's almost like a benign tumour. So it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Whereas a hypertrophic scar won't grow outside the original scar, a keloid will. So typically on ear piercing, I've seen people with keloids as big as a football from an ear piercing. Okay? And this is difficult to treat because unlike hypertrophic scars, keloids will tend to get bigger and bigger and bigger with time. Okay? So hypertrophic are going to get better, are manageable. Keloids, much more difficult. And probably in another video, I'll talk about how we actually manage hypertrophic and keloid scars. So I hope that's made it clear. If you've got a scar, you can do things to minimise how bad it's going to be. If you've got a hypertrophic scar, important thing is to get treatment early. It's going to get better, but we can make it much better with treatment, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. If you've got a keloid scar, really you need to be thinking about ways to improve this and limit the growth of it. So I hope that's been helpful. If you'd like any information about scarring or any other aspects of cosmetic surgery, please email us via our website or contact us by phone on 01844 214 362. So thank you very much for listening to this video and watching the video in fact. We hope to see you soon